Everybody in my area knows about Kit Jensen, the crazed contortionist, a moniker he posthumously earned after butchering his wife and taking his own life. The deranged man was a performer, an artist he would have said. Jensen frequently put on mesmerising contortionist display at the Old Theatre in Greentree, a show that was loved though he was an oddball. Still, in spite of what folk call him, he did not slaughter Mandy Jensen in a performative way. There was no display of gratuitous grandeur. The two bodies were not packed into some pokey space like a pair of contorted sardines. He beheaded his wife and threw himself from a 6th-floor balcony. They both died on Tuesday, 10th of May 2022. I know that because I've researched it extensively, read and reread articles until my eyes throbbed, just to ensure that I've not entirely lost my marbles. There's no denying it, they've been gone for 2 years. That's why I don't understand the calls I've received on Friday the 24th of May 2024. Calls that all stemmed from a town I shall call Greentree. Call 1, 12:40 PM. 999? Police? What is the nature of your emergency? Hello. I should have called earlier, but I just didn't get it. And now something's happened. Something awful. My name's Ian Poole. I work at the care home off Broad Street. Know the one? Yes, I do. What's happened, Ian? Well, a few of the folk in the East Wing have been acting bizarrely all day. There was an incident, and, well, they're starting to frighten me. Frighten all of us. I see. What was the incident, Ian? Why did you call emergency services? One of the residents seriously injured someone. It was Mr. Harrison, one of our oldest residents. Oh god. He broke Mrs. Renly's legs. I don't... Okay, breathe for me, Ian. It's gonna be okay. I'll dispatch officers, but I have to ask whether Mr. Harrison has pre-existing mental health problems. Well, of course he does. You understand the nature of this place, right? It's a home for dementia patients, not a retirement village. I understand that, Ian. Do you understand why I asked the question? When it comes to crimes committed by dementia sufferers, such incidents rarely result in court action. The patient has no knowledge of what they're doing. Yes, I know. Shit. I'm not trying to throw Mr. Harrison in prison. I'm trying to protect everybody. We sedated him, but now Mrs. Renly's not herself either. I know what you're thinking. Obviously she's not herself, given her injured legs, but it's the opposite of what you'd expect. She should be in pain, but she's not. She's just not herself. And this madness is like a disease, spreading throughout the wing. I don't want to stay in here. None of us want to stay in here. Okay, I've dispatched some police officers, and the ambulance service has been notified. But tell me what happened, Ian. I'm not getting the full picture. I know. It's hard to say what happened though. I saw it and I still don't understand. It was a frightening morning. I'm the manager here, but I didn't arrive until 10, and my co-worker Susan was flustered. She'd been crying because Mr. Harrison called her a rude name. Well, what's new there? That's what I thought. But I didn't say it out loud, of course. Anyway, Susan said that Mr. Harrison was behaving even more strangely than usual. To give you some context, he often speaks in broken sentences. He's practically immobile and he doesn't recognise his loved ones. That's the level of his deterioration. But today he's been lucid, very lucid. He even got up, strolled around. I've not seen him walk more than 2 steps in months. Right. How did this lead to an altercation with Mrs. Renly? Well, she was complaining about Mr. Harrison's incessant chattering. Not a new complaint, mind you. See, he's always chattering, but it's usually jumbled nonsense. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Today he's been speaking in complete sentences, and he's been saying horrible things. Things that make my skin crawl. I don't know why. It was nothing particularly threatening, but I feel he feels dangerous. Well, clearly he's dangerous. What exactly happened between Mr. Harrison and Mrs. Renly? How did the assault occur? Lenny said that Mr. Harrison had been ranting for a while. He even wrote down some of the things Mr. Harrison was saying before things became volatile. I am endless. That's one of the things he's written. What else? I will endlessly be the greatest artist there has ever been. The true one. The stage never dies. I must persist. Right, Mr. Harrison said a lot, didn't he? I hope you don't take offense, Ian, but none of those sentences sound particularly lucid to me. It sounds exactly like the jumbled rant of a dementia sufferer. Words that mean nothing at all. No, I work here every day. Trust me. That wasn't normal. Look, I get what you're saying, and you're right. In a sense, people say and do the strangest things in this place. Things that'll break your heart and set your hairs on end. But residents often regress to the people they once were, and none of those words match the man that Mr. Harrison used to be. He wasn't a poet or a performer. He didn't speak eloquently or care for the arts. Back when he used to speak clearly, he did not speak like that. Ian. Fine. I understand. You may be right. After all, we thought the same. I would have dismissed it. So would have Susan. In fact, we did dismiss it. She dried her eyes, pulled up her bootstraps, and came to the canteen with me. We heard some commotion, and that was when it happened. The assault? Yeah. Mrs. Renly said something Mr. Harrison didn't like. It wasn't a good show. According to Lenny, at one point, the man had been doing yoga. Susan and I found that hard to believe, as he'd hardly moved for months. Anyway, Lenny was already heading over to Mr. Harrison when Susan and I entered the room, as things were becoming a little too heated. What was Mr. Harrison saying? He called Mrs. Renly an uncultured swine without the intellect to digest the true art. Now this is what I mean. I know you don't know Mr. Harrison, but he was a typical bloke, a man of few words. Even when he could talk in full sentences a year or so ago, he did not speak like that. He hasn't been himself today, almost as if someone... never mind. Right, okay. What about the assault, Ian? Oh, sorry, I'm trying to avoid talking about that. Look, I've already said what happened. He broke her legs. Yes, but I need to know more than that. That's a very serious assault. Did Mr. Harrison use a weapon? You said your co-worker Lenny was in the room? Then you and Susan were in the room. 3 members of staff, 1 perpetrator. A man who you told me was mostly immobile. Practically immobile, you said. So why didn't any of you manage to stop him? Our residents have no access to dangerous things. Don't try to turn this into an investigation of Green Tree Nursing Home. We operate things properly here. I'm not accusing you of anything, Ian. I'm trying to understand how on earth this happened. So if he had no weapon, how did Mr. Harrison break Mrs. Renly's legs? I don't want to say. When are the responders getting here? In a few minutes. And you don't have to talk to me, but at some point you'll have to answer detailed questions about the incident. You have a duty of care to those residents, and given that such a serious assault occurred whilst 3 members of staff were present, he used his bare fucking hands, okay? He, Mr. Harrison, snapped Mrs. Renly like a fucking twig. 1 leg after the other, snapped each limb upwards, far past breaking point. I'm looking at her right now. The bones are protruding. There's blood everywhere. Our trained nurse applied tourniquets and bandaged the wounds, so she says that should have stopped the blood loss. Mrs. Renly should be okay until the responders arrived, physically anyway. I thought about asking for an ambulance when I rang 999, but look, we wanted the police. We're scared. We thought I don't know anymore. Don't worry about that, Ian. I've dispatched an ambulance as well. What have you done with Mr. Harrison? Does he pose a threat to any residents or members of staff? No, we were scared of him at first. Don't worry, he's fine. No threat to any of us. We gave him some lorazepam to calm him down a little. He's in his room, and a member of staff is watching him. We're scared of Mrs. Renly now. She started sounding like him, talking about performing on stage, and some of the others have started saying some odd things, but Mrs. Renly scares me the most. She told me that she could bend her legs a little farther if I'd just give her a stage. I don't understand any of this. Right, Thank you, Ian. Do you want to stay on the phone until the responders arrive? The paramedics should be there before the police any second now, in fact. Yes, I hear the sirens outside, but I think I should hang up. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I want to go to sleep. Okay, Ian. The paramedics will help. I promise. Call ended at 12:18 p.m. Responders arrived to find that 5 of the residents in the East Wing had passed from heart attacks, including Mr. Harrison and Mrs. Renly. Several others are still in hospital. When I received this call at the beginning of my shift, it horrified me. I was struggling to come to terms with the thought of such a vicious assault. Though, I'd heard of worse things. Once, a killer confessed his crime to me, yet somehow this frightened me more than any other call. Something about the dread in the voice of Ian Poole. It was contagious. A disease, like he said. And it was only the first crumb of Friday's awful events. Events which took place on a date that carried no significance, though I've spent days searching for answers. Searching for whatever ties everything together. I found only one horrible link. Kit Jensen. Call 2, 3:24 p.m. Operator. Police? What is the nature of your emergency? A strange man is following me home. Okay. How long has he been following you? Since I left school. Oh god. He's still there. He's still there? Okay. It's all gonna be okay. I'm gonna send a police officer out to you. Just stay calm for me. Which school was this? Green Tree High School. My name's Cora Ashburn. Thank you, Cora. Okay, where are you right now? Is there anyone else around? A group of people who seem safe, perhaps? I'm on a street with a lot of houses. Wait, why? Should I do something? Should I knock on a door? I don't... He's so close. He's so close. He seems to be getting closer, no matter how quickly I move. Shit, what's wrong with him? Stay calm, Cora. What's wrong with his body? There's something wrong with his body. Do you know the name of the street, Cora? Yeah, it's Crescent Drive off Main Street. thank you. The police are coming, okay? And I wasn't suggesting that you start knocking on doors. I need you to keep walking, okay? Do you see anybody on the pavement? Oh god. I'm sorry. I don't want to frighten you. Breathe for me, Cora. It's all going to be okay. A responder is on the way. Alright? We're only 5 minutes from your road. Have you seen anybody else on the street? I don't know. I'm walking like you said. I don't want to stop. I'm just moving. He's so fast though. He's on his... I don't know. What is he doing? He doesn't look real. He looks... His spine is bent. His arms... I'm losing my fucking... I don't know. Just a few minutes, Cora. You should hear the sirens in the distance. Do you hear them? They're close. I see... someone. I see someone in the playground. Should I go to them? As long as you stay nearby, Cora. The responders need to be able to easily find you. Who have you seen in a playground? It'll help make you identifiable when the responders arrive. A girl in a green tree uniform and... It's a woman. Hey, help me. A man's following me. He's... Oh god, no. No. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Call ended at 3:27 PM. When responders arrived at 3:29 PM, they did not find Cora Ashburn. 4 days later, she is still missing. After sweeping the playground beside Crescent Drive, officers found a threadbare cardigan knotted onto the interlinking bars of a jungle gym, something that only warranted attention because its remaining strands had mostly unravelled from a gaping hole in the centre. Worst of all, upon closer inspection, it appeared to be bloodstained. After the evidence was brought into the station, an investigating officer recognised the item of clothing from an old case. It was the cardigan found on the corpse of Mandy Jensen, cardigan that was discarded once the case had swiftly and decisively been closed 2 years earlier. Call free, 6:16 PM. Operator. Police? What is the nature of your emergency? He's got... Oh, he's wrong, man. He's all wrong, like his head's gone, his head's coming off, mate. Know what I mean? You know? Sorry, I don't understand any of that. You're slurring. What's the emergency? Hey, love, are you okay? Why are you crying, love? Oh shit, did he do that to you? Did he... Fuck me. Fuck! Are you okay? Who else is with you? Please tell me what's happening. Don't hang up. I have an emergency. This lass has been... She's having a rough night. Take a deep breath. Just tell me what's happening, slowly and calmly. I've had a bit to drink. I can tell. Sorry, I really need you to speak clearly. What has happened to the woman you mentioned? It's this guy. He was hassling, he was like, off. Just fucking off. Didn't really see him. I felt it though. This tall fella. Weird figure. Some creep who vanished when a bunch of us came out of the... I don't know where he went, but she's just... It's this guy. He was hassling her. He was like, off. Just fucking off. Didn't really see him. I felt it though. This tall fella. Weird figure. Some creep who vanished when a bunch of us came out of the woods. Don't know where he went, but she's rough. He hurt her. There's so much fucking blood. Right, okay. A man hurt a woman? Where are you? Near the old arms and where the cars park. The car park. Around the back of the pub, you know? I know the pub. Okay, I'll be sending emergency responders to your location. Stay on the phone and please do not leave the woman on her own. Are any other people there? The others went home. I told the landlord, but he's gone. I don't know. I don't want to leave her, you know? There was another woman, but I think she left. Do you think I'd be able to talk to the injured woman? Or would you be able to talk to her at least? Just until the paramedics arrive? Is she breathing? You've not described her injuries? She's twitching, but she isn't gonna talk, mate. Her mouth's all... The man broke her jaw, and she's just... I hear another voice. Is that her? Yeah. I tried to talk to her, but she didn't... She just... Oh shit. Oh shit. Hello? Are you okay? What's happening? I've dispatched some officers. They're already in the town centre, only a couple minutes away from the pub. Please stay on the phone, tell me what's happening. No intelligible words. Call ended at 6:25 PM. For the remainder of the call though, I tried to communicate with the man. I heard only muffled noises, crunching what almost sounded like howls of agony. Though the connection was garbled, I pretended that the sounds were perfectly explainable, but that didn't ease the knot in my gut. I knew something was dreadfully wrong. Responders arrived at 6:25 PM, finding the phone of Robert Anderson outside the Old Arms. An officer, Jeffrey Ross, claimed that he had something in the alley beside the establishment. The body of a man, misshapen by a figure in the darkness. Misshapen? That was the word he used repeatedly. Officer Isabel Donaldson didn't see what her partner alleged to have seen. It was there one moment and gone the next, in Officer Ross's words, and he called the alleged figure at the end of the alley recognizable. Ross told investigators that the perpetrator's costume reminded him of the one Kit Jensen used to wear for his performances at Green Tree Theatre. Call number 4, 9:19 PM. Police? What's your emergency? Oh, I needed an ambulance. Okay, well Shush. I need a little bit of quiet, please. What's the nature of your... I said shush. I'm afraid I won't shush. This is an emergency line. Maybe I do need the police. Okay, what's happened? What's happening? No, forget it. Forget it. I spoke out of line. It's... Oh, hello, Kit. Is somebody else there? What's the nature of your emergency? I said I was sorry. 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 Are you okay? Please tell me what's happening. I want to help. Are you not able to talk right now? Is that the problem? You're right, Kit. I didn't understand your art. Oh, I just didn't understand, but I do now. I'm sorry I didn't applaud. Yes, no, of course. The town deserves it. Every last one of us. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're... Miss? Who is in the room with you? Would you be able to give me some sign that you're in danger? A code word, perhaps? How about house? I'm not ignoring you, sir. I was just talking to him. You will be able to help me. I need somebody to come and find me, so the place doesn't smell afterwards, you see. It would be a shame for the smell to tarnish the place, like it did when she... Are you having thoughts? What is your state of mind right now? If you give me your location, Round Mills, apartment 201. Yes, I know, Mandy, I know, but he makes such a beautiful point. You see, if I try and fail, I finally appreciate his art. That's all he wants. Just a little appreciation. It's the only way, Mandy. The only way. Splintering sounds were audible. Miss? Miss, what's happening? I've dispatched an ambulance and a couple of officers to your location. If you tell me what's happened to you, I might be able to help. It'll certainly help the paramedics. More splintering sounds were followed by a distant scream. Oh, yes, you were right, Kit. I got it all wrong. My legs don't bend that way. Not like yours. My arms, no. I'm not like you, Kit. Not the incredible Kit. Not the... Oh? Yes, I suppose I should try that too. Yes, I'll try bending my neck. If I just... One final splinter sounded. Call ended at 9:27 PM. Quiet followed the woman's unfinished sentence, not silence. I heard the sound of applause, the slight patter of a person's slow, measured claps muffled by the bad reception of the call, and sobbing. Two terrible noises that immediately ceased when the front door of the apartment burst open. Responders found nobody in the apartment but Rachel Jensen, the sister of Mandy Jensen. Rachel was mangled in a way that made one paramedic vomit, and I've been told no more than that. I only learnt of the aftermath detailed in his post for a friend of mine who works at Green Tree Police Station. I keep thinking about the scream that I heard, one that I am certain did not come from Rachel Jensen. She sounded joyous. Her voice became increasingly unhinged as she brutally contorted her body into sickening configurations. Thinking about it, I do remember Kit's final show being quite lackluster, a performance that took place shortly before his death. I didn't attend, but I heard from other Green Tree residents that he fumbled to finish. Kit attempted to escape from a box in a contorted position, but he failed. His wife had to assist him. There was no applause, only concerned murmuring from the crowd. People had speculated for years that something wasn't quite right with the man, and that's why I kept thinking about what Rachel said, what Ian said, what all of the callers said. Stories of adoration, appreciation, rejection, anger. Things make a little more sense when viewed from the right angle. These stories serve as interlinking pieces of a puzzle, forming the picture of a man who might have wanted to punish those who did not applaud his disappointing performance. A disgruntled artist's revenge against a town that dismissed him, and a wife who dismissed him. In truth, Kit Jensen was simply a sick man. People had heard the whispers about his abusive tendencies for years. All it taken was one bad day to push him over the edge. So, such a man would surely want to hurt all those who did not appreciate him, not only Mandy. However, even if that were the case, it wouldn't explain the entirety of that dreadful day of calls. Kit Jensen died 2 years ago. Who or what did people see in Green Tree?